Hey everyone, and welcome to the first video in a while. It's on and off, stopping and starting, but I'm hoping we've found something really cool right now. So originally I wanted this channel to be a Dead by Daylight only channel, but I got frustrated because it was kind of like I'm just limiting myself to one thing, and that's a common thing with me. Just limit myself to one thing. I hate it. I want to do all the things at the same time. But I had an idea. I decided to rebrand the channel again. I decided to just experiment with more things and just try out different video ideas. And this one I had was actually a spur of the moment, kind of like, oh, this is a thing now. So earlier on today, I was just looking through my games library on PlayStation and I saw a capture on Toy Story 2. And somebody had like the little border of when you get a trophy. And I was like, oh, that's fan made. So I just jumped on the game and the trophy list popped up. Now, I've already sank, at this point, 9 hours into Toy Story 2. It was a game I'd finished when it came out on the catalogue 2 years ago. And when I saw the trophies, I was like, I have literally played this game since I was a kid, and my life has been building to this moment. So here we are. We are going to be doing Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. We're going to be getting all the trophies on it, and it's going to be one hell of a good time. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, then do let me know below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and any games that you want to see me cover on the channel, absolutely sound off below. I've been really looking forward to doing this today. Like, let's get into it. So there's a couple of things that we need to take into account with this. So for the trophies, we just have to finish the game. It's as simple as that. But there are a couple of trophies that will require us to think outside the box a little bit. There are a couple of challenge related ones. So for example, we need to remember that we need to speak to Rex in every level because there is a trophy for that, or at least every level that he is in. There are a couple of trophies that relate to just kind of challenging and thinking outside the box. So for example, on the second level, Andy's Neighbourhood, you do a race with RC that realistically you can't win because you need the jet boots, but there is a trophy for being able to beat him without the jet boots. I've never known this to be a thing at all. But Kadikarus pointed out in one of his videos, shout out to Kadikarus, you can actually stand in front of RC and stop him from getting ahead of you. So you just have to keep making sure that you're bumping into him. It's fairly doable, but it's probably going to take a bit of time to get used to because I've never done it before. I've always left it until I get the jet boots at Al's Toy Barn and just gone back and done it, and that's just a testament to this game's replayability. It's fantastic. There are a couple more things like there's bosses, you've got to make sure that you are doing all the races, you've got to make sure that you're getting all the LGMs, it's just little things like that. So, without further ado, let's just jump into this. So kicking things off, we started with level 1, Andy's house. It was a fairly straightforward introduction to the game. As soon as this level started, I just had such a rush of nostalgia. This was a game that I got for Christmas. I think it was Christmas 2000, and it could have very well been Christmas 1999 because that was the year the film came out. And I didn't own a PlayStation 1, my brother did. And this was really the only game that I ever had for his PlayStation before I got my own one. And I spent so many hours on this game. Me and my mum would pull all-nighters. This game was just incredible. And still to this day, I don't get tired of playing it. I think the last time I played it before this was, I want to say 2 years ago when the catalogue came out for PlayStation. And it was one of the first PS1 games added on there. So for this trophy here, we just had to beat RC in the race. And it was dead straightforward, it was dead simple, it was very easy, and it was our first trophy, which you'll see me get in a second. There we go. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Music's fantastic for the races. And here you see me talking to Ham, getting the Pizza Planet token for Ham. That was a fun thing as well. Like, this game had a lot of variety with what you could do. There was something very Mario 64 about it. And the power-ups were really, really cool, and you'll see me showcase a couple of them throughout the video. So for this one here, what we were doing was we were going for the mystery token that was in the basement of the house. And another one, these ones are kind of like dotted sporadically through the level. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, we've got to talk to Rex in every single level that he's in for that trophy. And here's another trophy here that was to kill a tin robot first mini-boss of the game. And there is our second trophy. And I think all we had left to do for this one was to go speak to Bo Peep, give her the sheep, and that was another trophy as well. And that was it, we were done with level 1. On to level 2. Andy's Neighbourhood. Now this was my mum's favourite level, mainly because of the music. Like, the music was so good. So what we had to do here was we had to, as part of getting Sarge's men, we had to kind of like get him out of these holes, and there's just the one. You stomp on them, and then he pops up at the end. So this was something that I genuinely didn't know that I could do. You can race RC and win without the rocket boots. You just got to do what I'm doing here, and just stop him along the way. But I kind of fucked up. And I thought, oh, this isn't going to go well at all. He's going to steal it. But luckily, he skidded there and it allowed me to get in front. Just watch my reaction. I did it first try. No way. And that was trophy number 4. And we speak to Rex again. It's mad because I remember where Rex was in these levels. Getting up to this boss was a nightmare. Climbing this tree is something that I've never been good at, and I kept on falling. But we defeated these kite, and I believe this is trophy number 5. Yep. And we go speak to Sarge, give him all of his soldiers, and I believe that's trophy number 6 as well. Yeah. And it's time for our first boss. Level 3, bombs away. Dead simple. It's over in 30 seconds. Just gotta line it up, shoot. Simple as. Nice, easy, straightforward boss. And there's trophy number 7. And now we start getting to the midpoint of the game. Level 4 construction yard. And this is quite a vertical level, and it's really, really good. There's trophy number 8 for getting stuck in the cement. Like like I mentioned before, the variety of what you could do to get the tokens was just really, really cool. I used to be obsessed with this one specifically as a kid. It's just so different, and I think it's like, this actually exists in a construction site. And there we go, trophy number 9. And there's Rex again. See, Rex good for giving you hints on where to go. So from this point on, we were climbing up the construction site, because I believe there's the boss at the top. There's one of the little tykes that we need for the foreman. Now this boss introduced an interesting mechanic. So one of the power-ups that you get was the disc launcher, which is a gadget that you can get from Mr. Potato Head in the level for getting his missing piece. And the jackhammer used to scare me a lot as a kid, because it was the first, like, oh god, like, I can't use regular weapons against this. There's trophy number 10. And we get the tyke his little guys back, his little workers. And there's trophy number 11. And this is the first level in the game, alleys and gullies, that I don't really vibe with. There's Rex again. And one of the reasons why I don't vibe with it is just because there's a lot of waiting around. And you'll see that with another issue in another level later on. But for this trophy, we had to jump on 5 of the lily pads. There were only 5 anyway, but they had to be 5 different ones. But, like I said, there's a lot of waiting around on this one. It kind of interrupts the flow. But as well as that, we got 9 lives. No time to lose. 2. We got 9 lives. And we got the lily pads 1. Which is mad because you start off with 6 or 7 lives anyway when the game begins. So, like, you don't really have to, like, try that much for it. But we also get introduced to a new enemy here. He's got a Zerg shield, and you need the disc launcher for him. Or you can spin him, but given the size of the platform, it's best to use a disc launcher. It just makes getting past him a lot easier. And disc launchers can go through walls, apparently. But one of the reasons why I don't like this level is there's a lot of stopping and starting. There's a lot of... It's not great level design, I think is the best way I can describe it. There's trophy number 14. And we can't do a lot with that one because we need a grapple hook. So we had to go early to the next level, which is Slime Time, which was actually one of the boss levels that only my mum could ever do for me. This level used to terrify me, and I don't know why. It's so silly, it's so bizarre, but it absolutely terrified me as a kid. But I really like the music, again. Eventually I was able to overcome my silly little fear of this slime garbage toy and managed to do it. The bosses are easily my favourite part about this game. Like, you've got 4 boss levels sprinkled throughout the game, and they're all different in a way. And that's trophy number 15 when it pops. Look how happy I am. Yeah, trophy number 15. So these are the remaining trophies that we had. So we had 15 already. At this point, we'd been playing for maybe roughly just over an hour. And there were a few left that we had to get. But on to level 7, Owl's Toy Barn. This is one of my favourite levels in the game. Mainly because of the music, again. But it's just such a well-designed level. And this was a nice little puzzle, I guess. I guess a puzzle is the word you could use for it. You have to use the disc launcher to break open the safe, the combination locks on the files to get the Pizza Planet token, which will then give us trophy number 16. Like, it just fell off there. And this is one of my favourite parts as well. So this introduced a lot of sort of like winding paths, because it was like a toy store, and you can see me struggling to get through the tyre. But this was how you get one of the chicks as well. And this is also, I believe, is where you see Mama, yeah, and speak to her. And this is one of the puzzles. So you speak to the male rooster, and you kind of activate like a, well, it's like a race. There are 2 races in this level, and this is the first one. This will let you get the race token. And then the second race is for one of the chicks. So that's what you need the rocket boots for. And that's where the replayability comes in. And there's us speaking to Rex again. And this is the boss. Now, for this boss, we had to defeat this dinosaur without touching the slime. Which, surprisingly easy. I almost touched it there. But the bosses in this game are just so good. The mini-bosses. Although, it's the fact that there's just this big room covered in slime just doing nothing that gets me. And there's trophy number 18. And that does us for this level. On to Al's Spaceland. This portion of the game is just predominantly set in the Al's Toy Barn region of the Toy Story 2 world. We're on our way here to face the mini-boss, which is the other Buzz Lightyear from the film. It's a fairly simple fight. It was over pretty much as soon as it began. Gives us our next Pizza Planet token and also our next trophy. And that is why our Buzz is the best Buzz. This trophy made me laugh. So you've just got to fail the claw game 3 times. And it was just a nice little touch because nice little throwback to the first film. Trophy number 20. And there's Rex again. This was interesting because this game likes to throw in characters that you're not really seeing, and this was a race character that you just race down on the zip line with. I don't believe this was a trophy, but it was just nice to do. It was a fun. It was a different race, you know. This took me a couple of tries, this one, because I kept on falling off the rope. But we did it this time round. And we got our Pizza Planet token. Yeah, it was a trophy. Trophy number 21. This is probably one of my favourite sections of any level in this game. It's just a bit of platforming. Again, winding paths. But what makes it interesting is you go back to using the bubble power-up, and you run past all these Zerg toys and Buzz Lightyear toys, and they're all shooting at one another.
And that's why you need that, so that you don't get hit by any of them. And it's just really cool. And then we had to jump off these boxes. Well, try and jump off the boxes, but we just couldn't do it. And also couldn't get the LGM, but we got him in the end. And here we are, we've got to give the LGMs to the mothership. Here we go. Trophy 22. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say chapter 22 there. And here is level 9 Toy Barn Encounter with our third boss. This one was different. Like, this one is basically you hit it once and then it spawns enemies from one of the pods, like a mothership. And it was different. It was a nice change of pace. The only issue I think I ever had with this boss was it was just like, it's just a variation of the already existing alien ships in the game. That was my only gripe with it. But that's trophy number 23. Now, this level, this is the start of the game where I just kind of, the level design starts getting really monotonous and quite iffy in areas. Like, this is easily the most vertical level in the whole game. But what makes it interesting is we get this grappling hook, which will let us go back to level 5, which you'll see shortly. We speak to Rex, and tells us some stuff, but we keep on going up. We keep on climbing the elevator shaft. Now, you'll see here, I apologise if you hear background noise, there's the cat. He's just playing around with some carrier bags. You'll see here that there's a puzzle, and I don't know how I solved this puzzle, and you'll see it in my reaction in a moment. I just don't know how I solved this puzzle at all. It still baffles me to this day how I ever did this as a kid, because I genuinely just don't grasp how I did it. Like, you could really see the cogs turning. I just hit that one. And then that one. And I've done it! Like, what? Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. And there's trophy number 24. And now we carry on climbing. Now, this boss was the one true boss that terrified me as a kid. Again, you'll see by my reaction here. Just, no. Just, no. Not a fan. Not a fan. At all. But that's why I picked up the green laser, because the green laser will let me kill it super quick. I always hated this boss. And this boss becomes a right nuisance when them fans activate as well. Yeah, not a fan, Jack. Don't blame you. Trophy number 25. We have a race with the Pizza Planet token. And this was a fun one. This was like a little ride all the way down, but I just had to make sure I activate the switch so I could fly right back up. And there's trophy number 26. And here we are. Al's Penthouse. This level's okay. I really enjoyed this one. It's quite open, considering it's in a little flat. But I panic here because I almost don't make
Bullseye
it.
Bullseye here!
And I actually like almost ran out of time. This was a fun little puzzle as well to get one of the critters for Jesse. So like, you've just got to hit these switches and the bathroom fills up with water. And it just used to blow my mind so much because it was like, how's this happening? Like, Al, you seriously need to sort something out with this because this is wrong on so many levels. And this boss was a trophy, and you'll see me having to rewind because you've got to use charge shots to take him out. And I kept on just randomly hitting him with the one off shot that wasn't charged. So I had to restart it. But, pretty cool boss. Kind of like a bad version of Woody. Except, I think what this one will have over Woody is this one's maybe not a bad cowboy. But, or at least a good friend, you know what I mean? But, there we go, trophy number 28. And this was a fun little puzzle, which was another one. How did I ever solve this as a kid? Like, it was mind-boggling. But all we have to do is just hit these switches and get this train to stop at the end of the track. Because we have a box that we need to push further along that if the train's still moving that we can't do. So I just thought it was fun to include this one. I don't think this one counted towards a trophy, but it was a lot of fun. And honestly, on my part, there was a bit of guesswork that went into this one. But now that that train's stopped, we can go to this box. And we can get the Pizza Planet token that's on top of the bed. Yeah. And also destroy that cannon, because the cannons are really, really frustrating. There we go. And now we go speak to Jesse. And we got our next trophy. Give her the critters. She does scare me a little bit, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought Silent Hill was terrifying. Nah. There we go, trophy number 29. And now on to my favourite boss fight in the entire game. Level 12, Evil Emperor Zurg. Straightforward fight. Just run towards him. Spin yourself at him. You can rebound his shots. Clearly I failed there. But it's a really, really good fight, this. And it's probably my favourite scene out of the entire film as well. And there we go.
To infinity and beyond.
Trophy 30. And after a nap, we go again. And we go back to level 5, Alleys and Gullies, so that we can finish up the missing trophies that we couldn't do. So, we couldn't do the ducks for the collectibles. We had to get that, and then we needed the grappling hook to ascend the middle of the map. Now, the problem, again, with this is it's a very frustrating climb, or at least it can be. Because sometimes Buzz doesn't sort of connect with surfaces, so he doesn't grab onto them. And sometimes this is purely on my part, you can just mistime the jumps, as you can see there. Like, I just fell. It happened a couple of times, but we get to the top. And there's the last duck that we need. And then we go to the other end, and we fight the boss. And all we've got to do is just defeat him by spinning on him. It's dead straightforward. This was another boss that I was kind of scared of as a kid, but it's not so bad anymore. See? Just keep spinning them. Boom. And there's trophy number 31. Now we move on to the 2 levels in this game that I'm just really not a fan of at all. It is Airport Infiltration. And this one, again, it's just quite a vertical level, but it's also quite spread out. Like, it doesn't seem that big, but it is. And there's not really a lot that we can do trophy-wise for this one. I believe it was just to get to the top of the plane, do Rocky Gibraltar's challenge, and defeat the Prospector. I could also be wrong. We had to get the tykes for the pilot as well. This challenge I used to struggle with so much, and I just don't know why. I could just never remember where Rocky Gibraltar's weights spawn. And there's Rex there. And I just kept on, like, I could not for the life of me remember at all. But this time round, yeah, I just remembered with a good 8 seconds to spare. It's a bit weird that Rocky Gibraltar's here because he wasn't there in the film. And there we go, trophy number 32. And this was me on my way to get one of the tykes. But again, I kept falling. It's just a frustrating level, but it's also down to just my skill at the game, which you'd think after playing it for at least 24 years of my life I'd be good at it. No, not in the slightest. I found a little cheat here. So before I gave Mr. Potato Head his, I think it's his mouth, to get the hover boots, I was able to jump up and use the box to get up to the top of the plane, which then gives me my next Pizza Planet token and my next trophy. 33 out of 39. There's Rex. We've got one more level to do with him. And now that we've got the hover boots, we can get up to the boss of this level, which is Stinky Pete. And Stinky Pete is the first boss that you come across that will show up again No, he's not. I'm lying. It's the cowboy. The cowboy is the first boss. This is the second boss. So there's our 34th trophy. And now we're just going to go get the last few collectibles for the pilot. And we are good to go. And we are done with this level. Here we go. On to level 14. Tarmac Trouble. Now, my biggest issue with this, if I had to pick a level I definitely do not like it, is definitely this one. Now, the reason I don't like it is just because it's very open. You know, the saving grace is that you do have the rocket boots to get around. And I like this race. This might be one of my favourite races in the game, but my problem with the level is it's so open, and much like alleys and gullies, there's a lot of waiting around. Waiting for the plane, because the plane's how you access most of the stuff. So we head over here. And I believe Rex is over here. Yeah, there he is. He's on top of the luggage cart. And that's one of the issues with this game, is just the sort of collision. Buzz just doesn't really collide with stuff a lot of the time. But there's our 35th trophy, speaking to Rex in every single level that he's in. And the collectibles in this level are like little bits of luggage. But this is what I mean about waiting around. You've just got to kind of wait for the plane to line up where you need it to. And you can jump on. I believe we're on our way to fight the boss here, which is a blacksmith, which will show up in the next boss level as well. And I do believe this boss gives me my first death of the game. Which wasn't fun. Was not fun at all. But this was a boss who, as a kid, I struggled with a lot. You just gotta kind of run away from him when he attacks, but I just don't seem to grasp that. And you can only use our wing attacks on him. But there we go. There's our next Pizza Planet token, and there is our next trophy. 36 out of 39. Back onto the plane, and we are going to, I believe it is the tower with the helicopter, because we've got another little puzzle to solve. And again, this was another puzzle, like, I just don't know how I ever solved it. Like, you basically just got to match the lights up, but I didn't know what buttons did what. So you'll just see purely the concentration on my face and the guesswork that just goes into it. I was just winging it, like, and that's not a pun because I'm at an airport. Just winging it, I just didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, I keep on thinking I'm resetting it, but then I end up thinking I'm doing something right. Like, I don't know what I did at all. But there we go. I believe that is our last trophy for this level. And this is the last level. Level 15. Prospector Showdown. I am so ready to go. And there he is. There's our toy that we risk our lives for. Oh, and Woody's there as well. And how could I do a video on Toy Story 2 without including this epic music? The mini boss theme. So for this boss, we've got Stinky Pete, the cowboy, and the blacksmith. And they all share a quarter of the health bar each. But as you can see, my health just gets attacked in this level, because you've kind of got to juggle Stinky Pete's attack. His and Blacksmith's work similarly. You've just got to kind of outrun it or dodge it, and then you've just got the cowboy, which will just shoot at you. So despite knowing that, despite having that information, I still die. And I've got a full health bar, and we're back. And there we go, the cowboy is done. Now we've just got the blacksmith and Stinky Pete to deal with. And I don't know why I tried stomping there. But this is probably one of the weaker elements of this game. This last boss fight, it just kind of feels like, especially with Stinky Pete, kind of feels like a bit of an afterthought where the game's concerned. I know he's not really revealed as the big bad in the film until probably towards the end, but his inclusion in this game just, you know, isn't all there, and it's a shame because he's a really good character. But alas, with us defeating Stinky Pete, our time with Toy Story 2 comes to an end. And fuck you, Woody. There is trophy number 38. Come on. Come on. Come on. And there's trophy number 39. And that is officially my 19th platinum on my PlayStation account. I feel like my life has been building up to this moment. Look how happy I am, doing a happy dance. But yeah, like, this was such a fun game to come back to. And I'll probably revisit again in the future. This game was my childhood. And it's one of those games that I love coming to. It just makes me feel so, so good. And I never get bored of it. Never. And I don't think I ever will. But I had an idea for the next video. I'm thinking about revisiting another Disney game on my PlayStation. Look how happy I am that I got this trophy, this platinum trophy. I believe that's platinum number 19. I thought, oh, what about Buzz Lightyear's Star Command? Now, would you guys want to see that? Sound off below and let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.